magic win, baby. The magic win. 123 to 107 over the Charlotte Hornets. Oh, it feels good finally. Second cousins, we were in the desert and now we have some water. Happy to be joined here at the Oasis by Amir from the Sports Critic and Magic streamer. Definitely go check him out. And Jay, who is a future Lorcana champion. You can learn more about that through his Instagram and Twitter. But we're going to jump right into it. We needed a win in a big way, gentlemen. What was your biggest takeaway from this one, Jay? What was like your yes moment, shall we say?
AB popping off, man. I think that, which by the way, why'd you start with me, man? The pressure's on me. It's been a minute since I've been here. You know,
okay.
What's up, second cousins? We here though. Shout out to AB. You know, he had the hardest assignment the entire night in guarding LaMelo Ball. So for it to be his best performance thus far that we've seen, I think that's an outstanding achievement.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Yeah.
Amir?
Yes. So my biggest takeaway was the AB start also, but I also think that, 3 players getting 20 plus points was huge, and the defense was really good tonight. Now, I know it's the Charlotte Hornets, but still, they're an NBA team and they're on our schedule, so we have to beat them. And Banchero almost had a triple-double, so that was pretty cool. Wendell finally showed up, but he's got to play more consistently. But 3 guys and 20 plus points. I think that was a difference maker there.
Word. Amir just laid out the agenda for the whole show. Thank you very much, Amir. That's dope. I'll start at the top with Anthony Black. I mean, hey, I'd be lying if I said I didn't see it coming, because if you watch the last episode, your boy called on Anthony Black as a potential 6th Man of the Year candidate, a guy that was going to be averaging at least 15 points per game for us and oftentimes taking the toughest defensive assignment. He's been a little inconsistent, but he's averaging almost 12 points per game this year, close to 4 boards and 2 assists, 47% from the field. He started the year with 8 points, then 19, 14, 10, and this is his best outing with 20. He had it all working tonight. 61% from the field, 50% from beyond the arc. I don't think we can count on that every night, but if he can get that going, then the off-the-dribble stuff, the getting to the hoop, is so much more feasible for him. And I was just really excited to finally see him playing with some confidence, because a couple games in there, he didn't really look like, I don't know, he had that confidence to go to the rack and to have the ball in his hands. So I'm really excited for him to see that happen. What else did you talk about? You talked about Wendell Carter Jr. Why don't we go there a little bit, because he's been often besmirched on this channel, especially by the unseen Peach right now. Yeah, he's just kind of looming in the background of this conversation. What'd you see from Wendell Carter Jr. tonight, Amir?
I saw that he was more aggressive. He was more aggressive today, which I liked. He took wide open shots instead of forcing bad shots. He was rebounding the ball better. He just overall had a better shooting game, and he just needs to be more consistent, better. Like I said, rebound. His defense was better today, but then again, it's the Hornets, so not to take away from Wendell, but he needs to play. He needs to play like this more consistently, and I just hope he does that, because the biggest weakness is our center position, I think, right now.
I'm so glad he said that, right? Because I was just about to just go in, bro, just straight up. Listen, are we in 2026 season, or are we in 2024-25 season? Because I feel like we've been talking about this forever, man. Wendell needs to be more consistent, right? Listen, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna give him the pass tonight. He needs to do better. He needs to stop getting bodied by every single big that we face. Those are my thoughts. That's it. So Pete should probably agree.
Yeah, I mean, I wanna get excited about this Wendell Carter Jr. game, but he still didn't even have 10 boards. And if we're being honest, the Charlotte Hornets started 3 rookies, among them their center and Ryan Kalkbrenner, who looks.
That guy killed us, man.
He kind of, yeah. He definitely looked a
That guy
little
killed
out
us.
of his depth. He killed us in terms of like getting 17 points and going 8 of 9 for the field. He knows where
Correct.
he knows where his shots are. It's within a 2-foot radius of the hoop right now. He's not stepping outside of that, but you can see his warts on the defensive side. He's slow-footed. He's not quite there on the NBA level on the defensive side. And I think he's a guy that we talked about as Orlando Magic fans in the draft. And this was a guy that's like, hey, maybe we can get some center depth. That was definitely on my menu of options of things I was looking for from the draft. But and Ryan Kalkbrenner was a name that came up, a guy from Creighton. But I don't know. I think if he was on this team, he would not be playing. And it just shows you kind of where the Charlotte Hornets are, that he is starting for them right now. I don't know what's going on with Mark Williams. Maybe if you're here.
Mark Williams on a different team.
Oh, that's what's going on with him. Yeah, it's pretty tough for him to play on this team. Where is he now? Where is he now?
He is on the Suns, the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, okay. So they finally did trade him. I know they originally tried to trade him to the Lakers and then it didn't go through, right? And then so they finally did trade him. Wow. So they're just really thin at the center position, and that's what they're rocking with. But back to Wendell, I'm happy for him. 18 points. Definitely was shooting it well from beyond the arc. 3 of 5, I think, from beyond the arc. We'd love to see that. We would love to see that. I think I still want to see some more big man shit. I mean, 8 boards in 27 minutes isn't quite what I'm looking for from my center, especially when you're going up against a lanky rookie. But, hey, we got to take the celebrations when we can, and this was a solid Wendell Carter Jr. game.
Jay Huff, where you at?
Let's talk about next the turnovers, because that has been the Achilles heel of this team thus far this year. And this year we flipped the script, or this game we flipped the script, and we limited ourselves to 13 turnovers, and we forced 21 from them. They got 15 points off of our 13 turnovers, and we got 29. That's where this team can eat, is turning that defense into offense. What did you see that made a difference for you guys in the turnover game? Amir?
Yeah. So basically what I think happened in the turnover game was they were not making, like, a lot of times the Magic force passes. They're trying to be fancy, or they're trying to like really feed the center position. But today they were more careful with the ball. Also, the Hornets are a team that don't really force many turnovers. So I think the Magic were kind of lucky in that area. And like you said, the Hornets themselves I saw sometimes they were just stepping out of bounds and throwing the ball away, and the Hornets were playing really dumb. So the Magic took advantage of that. And that's what they need to do, because our identity should be, defense. And our offense showed really well today once we were able to cause those turnovers. But we got to do this, like with the Wendell thing. This is also something that has to be more consistent. And that's like, we'd be forcing too many stupid, like you look at it and you're like, what kind of dumb play is that at the end of the day?
Yeah.
So Amir mentioned one thing, and I want to bring it back up, is defense should be our identity. It was when we had our best run. It needs to be our identity continuously, right? Like, yes, we brought in some people to help our offense between the coaching guys that we brought in, and then Desmond Bane and Tyus Jones. But however this happens, they need to be brought up to speed to our Magic basketball defense, and that needs to be the priority every single game, because that is how the guys that are on our squad are used to playing. So
yeah, I think you mentioned Desmond and Tyus coming in. I think that is maybe one of the key factors in a lot of those turnovers early season. It's been tough to watch these games, but in taking a step back and trying to take a breather the last 24 hours, this team is still gelling, man. Like, it's tough to come in. I mean, Desmond Bane is a starter. To bring a new starter in who's handling the ball a lot and not expect some growing pains. And same thing with Tyus Jones. I thought this was Tyus's best game too. He was safe with the rock, only 5 points, but a plus 10. He had a steal. Like he wasn't a negative out there this tonight where he had been in some of the previous games. And I think I'm probably underestimating how difficult it is to assimilate these guys into the team. And I'm hoping that this is a good step forward in doing that as we keep moving on. I think the plus minus player of the game, though, if we had one here, is Franz Wagner. Plus 23. Plus 23. That is something else. He goes for 21 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, a steal. Again, like Franz, I think for me, has been our most consistent guy just in terms of his level of play. I don't know if he's scored the most points for us this season, but in terms of, hey, I know I can kind of count on you to get 20, Franz has been that guy. He only hasn't scored 20 in that Chicago loss, and he just seems the most sure-footed with the rock. He's also been doing pretty good things from beyond the arc this year, knock on wood. 42% from beyond the arc in these 5 games. So I'm super excited about what I'm seeing from Franz. I think that this play style benefits him. Is there another player? It could be Franz. It could be someone else. We've talked about Anthony Black. We've talked about Wendell Carter. Was there someone, Jay? It could be Franz. It could be another guy that you were really impressed by tonight.
Man, honestly, I don't want to just pin one guy down into like whether I was impressed by their performance or not. At this point in time, with the record that we have, I'm just glad to see these guys get together and, look at Paulo, high assist game, sharing the ball. Maybe he's realizing that there's a lot of pressure on him, man. He's seen a lot of double teams, even triple teams at certain times. Just the fact that they're making good decisions and sharing the ball and just kind of like trying to figure it out, like that's all I want to see.
Yeah. Amir?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what he said there, I think with the Banchero thing is huge. Like the fact that Banchero has a problem, a tendency, great player, I love him, but he has a tendency of sometimes taking crazy shots.
Yeah.
And, it's because he has made them before, but you're not going to make them all the time, But today he was more of a facilitator. And he was passing the ball, 9 assists from his position. That is huge, and 9 rebounds. He was 1 rebound away, 1 assist away from a triple-double.
Yes.
If he can play like that on a consistent level, like that would just be insane. And he has the potential to do it. It's just he's got to, be less selfish and try to get other people involved. And like you said, Franz has been our most consistent player. So I agree with you on Franz.
I feel like Paulo's always been the type of guy, though, Amir, who's wanted to get other guys involved. He's been a high assist type of guy from a power forward position. You don't see that often. And I see a lot of triple doubles in this young man's future if other guys can knock down shots. And they were tonight. I mean, 42% from beyond the arc. That's something that us Magic fans are not used to seeing. 16 for 38. But this is what we're kind of hoping becomes a little bit closer to the norm. Maybe not 42, but like, can we get between 36 and 40 every night? I think that should be realistic. And it was kind of disappointing to see how badly we were continuing to shoot the ball from beyond the arc at the beginning of the season. I am frustrated with some of Paolo Banchero's shots still, Amir, like you alluded to. I don't understand when you have Paulo, there's a guy who's like 6'4", 6'5", guarding you, and you're kind of doing a spin fadeaway. Like, I know that's one of his bread and butter shots, but it's like you can just go over those guys. You don't need to fade away. You do not need to create any more space. You can just shoot over them. And it should be an easier shot for him, but maybe not. Maybe he's just practiced that in the gym so many times that is like swimming in water for him. But I know, Jay, you wanted to talk about rotations, and I'm curious to see what your point is on these rotations.
So just like you're curious to see what my point in these rotations are, I'm curious to see what is going on up in Mosley's head, upstairs with these rotations, bro. The fact, all these trade rumors and all this stuff that everybody's talking about online, like maybe we're gonna get rid of JI, and that's why. Listen, why is Penda seeing more minutes than some of these guys that we need to be heavily involved into our gameplay? Like, because of the size, I get it. I don't know. I really, really want to know why Penda's seeing more. Penda saw more minutes than Goga Batazde today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, what happened the previous game? Jonathan Isaac played for like 5 minutes. We're paying a guy $15 million a year, and we're throwing this guy Noah Penda out, just kind of like relying on him. I don't know. I want to know you guys' opinion on that.
What do you think, Amir? How do you feel about the rotations and some of these seeing Noah Penda as like the 7th man off the bench?
Yeah. So, no, that's a great point that he brought up. I think the reason, is because the Magic have been losing, so he's trying to change it up. And also, we know that Jalen Suggs he can't play on a back-to-back, so they put Anthony Black. Why Noah Penda is playing more, I guess he's trying to see if maybe he can be a spark plug off the bench, because Jonathan Isaac Jonathan Isaac's great on the defensive side of the ball, but on the offensive side of the ball, he's been really bad. So I'm guessing he's trying to see if Noah Penda could be better. And also they are scared of the Isaac injury at all times. I feel like they always play with him with kid gloves. So
yeah,
but that is a great
let's
point.
have a conversation on that topic that you just mentioned, right? So
yeah.
Let's say if that's accurate, he's wanting to kind of get a measurement of like, okay, can this guy fulfill that like offensive void maybe that like a Jonathan Isaac does not have, right? But what about the other guys that are playing with him? There are 5 guys on the court at the one time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I just don't think that, like, part of us being able to consistently play together and in efforts to help us win, these guys need solid repetitions. These guys need a system. When Mosley throws Noah Penda in one game, and then watch, I'm willing to bet the next game Noah Penda doesn't play at all. And then he just throws in somebody else. And that is part of our struggle. That is part of why I believe that we are not performing to the expectation that we expected. We're 5 games into the season. I expected us to be at least 3-2, not 1-4
now, right?
or
two,
whatever
2
the
and
number.
4.
It's
Now.
6 now
2 and 4.
with tonight, but
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That's part of the problem.
I hear it.
I
think that it's difficult with Suggs, being injured. I think he's playing with some things there. I was definitely intrigued though, Jay, to see Penda as the 7th man off the bench tonight. That was interesting. And even against the Pistons, he brought in Penda to go against Beef Stew. And I kind of understood it a little bit more in that game because Penda's a big body. What is he, like 6'7", 215, something like that? Where is it? Where's his measurements? 6'7", 215.
Listen, I'm going to get tired of the reporters, mentioning that every 10 seconds.
Yeah, well, try being a middle school teacher. But I understood where they were coming from in the Pistons game because Noah Penda's got that big body. He can beef around with Beef Stew down there in the paint. So it's like, all right, I guess I understand why you don't go to J.I. or like even a Jet Howard, even though that's not quite his position, but or even a Tristan da Silva. He came out before Tristan da Silva last night, and I believe tonight too, which that is the perplexing thing to me because that tonight we did not have an Isaiah Stewart in there or an Isaiah Stewart-like guy. And for me, you got to have Tristan out there, man. Like I know that he in the end of the game did end up playing more minutes, 22 minutes to Noah Penda's 17, but the dude gave you 19 points in 22 minutes. Like he's been our most consistent bench player probably this season. The stroke looks awesome. He looks super confident coming off of Eurobasket. Like let's get that guy some more looks. And what's going on with J.I., we may never know. I think this was definitely his best game. He had 3 blocks in the second quarter. He looked active, only 2 points. I just don't buy, Jay, the argument that he's putting Noah Penda out there for more offensive output. That's not the the report that we have on Noah Penda. The report is he's a defensive guy, and the offense is going to come along later. And I just think Mosley's playing him because he loves the defense, and Noah Penda is a defense first guy.
Yeah, that's true.
But he was
out there getting bodied
confusing
against the Pistons.
Yeah, well,
and
everyone was getting bodied against the Pistons.
You know, welcome to the NBA, Noah Penda. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know, man. That's probably my biggest frustration. You mentioned Tristan da Silva. You know, that guy's been solid for us every single game. The fact that he doesn't become that, at least that seventh option, let's say when we have Jalen Suggs in the lineup and AB for now is our sixth man, like, why isn't TDS that seventh guy down there? Why isn't he resting Franz and putting him in his slot? He's proven time and time again that he can, you know, he can roll with the pressure, roll with the punches, and get in there and make things happen. Yeah. So I don't know,
and
man.
maybe that will be how things work out. Like, especially when Moritz comes back, you know, Mosley likes to play Franz and Moritz in that second unit together. So we could. It'll be interesting. Maybe TDS will come in for Paulo on those nights when they don't have a big four across from them. Amir, you got one more point on this, and then I want to talk about our upcoming games before we
I just
head
want
out.
to say one thing. I think another reason why we saw Penda a lot this game was Mosley's, like I said, he's experimenting. We had a huge lead most of this game, and he wants to see what he can get from this guy. That's what I think it really is, more of an experimental. Like, if he was losing, I really believe Tristan da Silva would have been there more, because Tristan da Silva has been the best player off the bench for us, like, hands down right now.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, let's look ahead here. We got Saturday against the Wizards, which, if you're on the Patreon, we're going to be doing like a 30-minute hangout before that game, kind of pregame, getting ready for that. Then we got Atlanta coming up, 2 games against Boston, and then Portland. Those are our next 5 games. So there are some winnable games here. What's your confidence level, gentlemen, going into this stretch of 5? Jay, how are you feeling after this win tonight? You got a little bit more wind in your sails?
Listen, it's not how I'm feeling. It's what Magic Nation is truthfully expecting, right? You mentioned 5 games.
Yeah.
We need to win 4 of those 5 games. If we just so happen to listen, I'm just gonna be clear cut. If we just so happen to take the Atlanta game, of course we're gonna be happy. But that honestly is the only game that I'm expecting to lose. Boston is also trying to figure things out with their little system, the things they got going on with the one guy. I forgot his name.
Jason Tatum's out. They got Jaylen Brown and Derek White still, but they got rid of Kristaps.
Yeah, but what's that one guy? We were supposed to try to go for him.
Anthony
Simons.
Anyways,
we don't talk about him. It's all right. We don't talk about Simons. But yeah, so they're still trying to figure things out, right? Washington, we win. If we don't, we riot. So Boston twice. We need to win both of those games. They're at home. And Portland?
Yeah, Portland.
Come on, man. Atlanta's the only one that I would say is going to give us a little bit of trouble, but it should be personal, right? They beat us already. Like, we need they're a conference rival. We need to bring 100% to that game. Yeah. So if we don't, I wouldn't be mad as long as we win the 4 out of those 5 games.
Okay. Amir, what are you expecting?
So first, I want to say, you asked confidence level right now. My confidence level is still not that high because we only beat the Hornets.
Yeah.
But if we get on a 4-1 run, he alluded to, then So I'd say right now it's like at a 6. But if we can get our identity together, our defensive identity, which we are supposed to be known for, and we win the next 4 out of 5, I would jump that to an 8 or 9. I would feel really good about this team. We have some easy opponents that we got to take advantage of. We got to take advantage of Washington. That, like he said, we have to win or we riot. We're gonna go crazy if we lose that. That's something's wrong with the team. Boston, they're still trying to figure stuff out, and we're at home both those games, so we should win that one. And then Portland is not that great of a team. So, maybe we lose one to Boston. I don't know.
Yeah.
But at least go 4-1 in those 5 games, because the thing is we have to make up for our already bad start. But I think we also had a really bad start. Like you mentioned earlier, we have a lot of new pieces and we're
Yeah.
just trying to see how it fits together. So
Yeah.
that's my takeaway. That's my confidence right now. And hopefully, if the Magic win the next few games, they'll go up, But if they
Yeah.
lose, it goes down. That's how it is right now.
I mean, I'm just hoping for a winning record out of these 5. I'd be happy with
Yeah.
3-2, just to get some confidence in the boys. The way that we've been playing, I can't expect much more than that. But hopefully we're back on the right foot. Second Cousins out there, let us know how you're feeling about this victory against the JV Hornets tonight. And hopefully we'll see you again on here Saturday evening after another Orlando Magic victory. Amir, thanks so much for coming through.
Yeah.
Jay, thank you for being here, homie. It's good to see you guys always. And peace out to you all, Second Cousins.
Thanks for having me on.